Have you ever just felt completely overwhelmed by the English language? I mean, the vocabulary seems endless, the rules are so complex, but what if I told you there's a system that cuts through all that noise, boiling it all down to a super powerful core? Well, that's what we're diving into today. Seriously, think about it for a second. What's your guess? 10,000? Maybe 50,000? How many words do you think are absolutely essential to get your point across, have a real conversation, and just, communicate?
Because the reality can feel pretty intimidating. A full English dictionary has hundreds of thousands of words, and let's be honest, trying to learn all of them is a massive task, and for most people, it's just not necessary. It feels like this huge barrier, but there's a really elegant solution.
And this is it, 850. That's the number. It seems impossibly small, doesn't it? But this isn't just some random number pulled out of a hat. It's actually the foundation of a very carefully designed system for clear, effective communication.
So this brings us to the main event of our explainer today, a system that's known as Basic English, which is built around this very specific, curated list of just 850 words.
So, what exactly is BE850? Well, the B stands for Basic English, and the 850 is, you guessed it, the number of words. Now, this isn't baby talk or anything like that. It's a completely functional version of English that was designed way back in the 1930s by a linguist named Charles K. Ogden. His whole goal was to make international communication simpler. He wanted to find a small set of really powerful words that could be used to express pretty much any fundamental idea you could think of.
And this list does just that. It creates a core vocabulary that makes talking across borders way easier. The words that were picked are foundational. They're about daily life and big concepts. So you'll find words like comfort and common and, well, surprisingly, even committee. And that's the word we're going to zoom in on for our case study.
Right, so to really see how this all works in practice, let's pull up this simple English Wiktionary entry for committee. We're going to break it down and see what makes a core word like this so powerful.
Okay, just look at this definition. It is so simple and clear. It uses other basic words, group, people, come together, to explain what it means. And that right there is the magic of this whole system. Every single word in that 850-word list can be defined using only other words from the same list. It's a completely self-contained system.
And here's how you'd use it. He is on the administrative committee. The sentence is totally straightforward. It gets the idea across with zero fluff. See, you don't need a fancier word like serves or participates. Is on works perfectly. This is exactly what BE850 is all about, just functional clarity.
Now, what's really cool about this slide isn't about becoming a phonetics expert. It's about what this represents. When we see the breakdown, commit to, it's a little reminder that even these simple core words have a very precise structure. It shows us that language is a system, and B850 is just a much more focused, streamlined version of that system.
Okay, let's check out how these core words build bridges to other ideas. A word like committee kind of acts like a hub. You've got a synonym, like board, which means pretty much the same thing, but then you have a related word, like reunion. It shares that core idea of a group coming together, but for a totally different reason. Understanding these little connections is how you can expand your ability to express yourself, all starting from just one core word.
So we've just spent all this time dissecting one single word. But why does any of this matter in the grand scheme of things? What's the real power behind focusing on a core vocabulary like this?
So what's the big takeaway here? It's that mastering a small core of words can unlock a huge amount of communicative power. A system like B850 isn't about limiting what you can say, it's about empowering you to say it clearly. For anyone learning the language, it's an incredible foundation. For all of us, it's a tool for just being clearer. Now, it's not perfect. Some critics say it can sound a bit unnatural or that it lacks nuance, but the principle behind it is so powerful. By really getting these 850 foundational words, you start to see the hidden structure of the entire language, and that proves that something as huge and messy as English can actually be made accessible.
And that kind of leaves us with one last thing to think about. If your entire world of expression was suddenly boiled down to just these 850 essential words, what would be the most important things for you to communicate? What would you say first?